Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today I have some more junk to review for you folks. And yeah, as you can say, it's one of these Herbie movies, which I haven't spoken about in a while. I did review the other movies, the original films, so I figured, I guess it wouldn't hurt to review the more recent one. I mean, it's not a reboot or anything, it's more of a continuation. Even though the previous one was done like back in the 80s, and not this one that was released in 2005. That's a big time gap. But, oh, come on. Of all the ways to end a franchise, it had to be like this? I mean, really? Oh, boy, if I was Lizzie Lohan, I'd be so mad right now. And the story itself, of course, I have a problem with the story. It doesn't feel, genuine. It's so generic. Can you try something new? I mean, how about having a princess that's trying to fight off against this occult religious institution that's going to take over their kingdom or something. You know, maybe her and her, I don't know, friends or something. I mean, try to be more original here. The storyline for this film is just it's such a bore. Yeah, Herbie fully loaded of shit. But yeah, folks, this one, no, just it was not good. It was not good at all. No. Oh, I'm in this insane asylum. This will be a warning sign right there, folks. But okay, as usual, I have to talk about the plot, so let's get into it, I guess. Yeah. Well, let's just say I had more than a few drinks before this video, and I had a few when I started. Ugh. Okay, anyway, of course, Herbie himself, he does have a mind of its own, and he was told to the junkyard after losing several races. But, of course, our main character comes in, and let's just say she's a part of this racing clan or whatever, but her father takes her to this junkyard to buy her a car as a college graduation gift, I guess you can say. But anyway, takes her to this mechanic friend, whom agrees to take Herbie to a show to buy parts and whatnot. And Herbie pretty much tricks Maggie into disguising herself in this racing suit and helmet, and pretty much challenging this champion individual to a very important kind of race, I guess. Well, this little race, I guess you could say. But Herbie does win, of course. But what, by a smudge? But the Kevin character here does happily suggest that Maggie should race again. Of some street racing accidents that happened some years ago. So yeah, there's a bit of backstory in regards of that, I suppose, trying to make it seem like there's some sort of adventure to be had here, I guess you can say. But yeah, we all know what's going to happen. She's going to be some part of something big, somehow rewarding and whatnot. So yeah.
Oh no, it's Mr. Monkey. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not gonna buy you this crap? Okay, man? You know what? I guess this will cheer you up. My banana, man? Here's a banana. Yeah, knock your ass out.
Basically, what's going on here? Our main character, played by Lindsay Lohan, wants to become this NASCAR driver, but of course, her overprotective father won't hear of it. Of course, there's of course this whole idea that he's a former racer himself. He wants to basically have her do something else, maybe something sports, maybe. But so yeah, there's a conflict of interest, so to speak, I guess you can say. But anyway, that's about the gist of the story, really. Like I was trying to say a moment ago, there's not really nothing more than just this extremely generic story, really. There's not much to it. It's your typical, family movie affair. There's nothing special about it, really. It's very straightforward, I guess, in that sense. I mean, I guess in some ways, you can't really do no harm, really. But it just came off, they weren't really trying, really. Not a whole, at least in the story department anyway, because it was a total bore, if anything. Just didn't like what was done, like, at all, really. Oh boy, come on. Hey, hey, stop eating the banana. Go and get it, man. Go on. Go and get it. Yeah, wrong backwards. Yeah. Was this movie supposed to be a comedy? I mean, I thought it was funny. None of the jokes worked, really. I mean, okay, I guess the only real joke here is that I thought this was going to be a good movie. Well, excuse me for giving this film the benefit of the doubt, I guess you can say. But yeah, altogether, folks, this was a poorly made film. Herbie Fully Loaded should have been made at all. So yeah, it took quite a while to make this movie. Because like I said before, the other one was made during the 1980s, and this was made during the early 2000s. So yeah, so there's a big time gap. That's weird. So in that case, just forget it. So yeah, just I don't know, it doesn't make any sense, like at all, not really. So yeah, folks, this was not a good movie. I mean, if you want to check it out yourself, be my guest. It's just basically your family friendly movie. I mean, it's harmless, I guess, I suppose, but I take no prisoners because this was not a good movie. Not in any shape or form. The soundtrack is forgettable. Very generic soundtrack. And, of course, it has that going for it, obviously. I mean, of course, there's nothing really exciting about this movie. Like, at all. I didn't like nothing was produced for this film. I mean, I guess they were trying to go for something here, I guess. Like for a charming family movie, I suppose. But at the end of the day, it just felt flat. It just felt really, really flat at the end of the day. So, yeah. It was not a well-produced film, like, at all. Oh, Mr. Monkey. Seriously, man. God. I guess this was definitely one of those types of movies that's trying to be inspiring in a sense that Leslie Lohan's character Maggie was the first individual in her family to actually finish high school, and she wants to have a job somewhere and actually, have a bright future. So she definitely has some goals to go through, of course. But of course, her father doesn't exactly approve. But we're just, of course, pretty typical when it comes to family or whatever. There's always going to be a bit of a roadblock. Okay, no pun intended. But you know I'm going at this. So to have a positive message. So I'm sort of here, of course, and of course, our main character here is going to have like some sort of friendship with Herbie. They work as a team. They need each other. Even though she may be, a bit on the competitive side, and she's willing to put herself on the line, so to speak, and whatnot. So there's plenty of, moments where this film does attempt to be inspirational and whatnot. So that's in itself isn't inherently wrong, really, per se. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to beat this film down. It comes to that kind of a thing, of course. But anyway, so yeah, even throughout the entire film, her father really does forbid her from racing. But obviously, our main character does ignore him, and of course, wants to lie about someone thinks maybe claiming a friend is the one behind the wheels doing the Herbie racing and whatnot. So yeah, there's definitely something that's going on when it comes to that kind of a thing, I guess you can say. Overall, folks, this was definitely one of those type of movies that's trying to, I guess, in a sense, trying to update a certain character. Of course, this car has been around for quite some time with Disney, of course. So it does make sense for them to want to bring this character back. I can get why. I get it. Sure. Just not too happy with what they were trying to do, I guess you can say. I mean, not that I was expecting much, really. And yes, just so everybody knows, folks, I did enjoy the other Herbie movies, the older stories, the older films. the older movies are definitely much better than this. I'm gonna be honest here, folks. This was not a good way to conclude the franchise. So yeah, they should have left this. Should have left this series of films alone. But no. Just like with so many of the older films, they had to bring it back. I don't understand why. I guess they're trying to appeal to the younger generation, I guess. But it doesn't work really because I didn't like what was done. I mean, they're trying to have some moments where the characters may interact. There might be a conflict, but the overall film just feels like whatever. It's not good. No, it's not really good at all because I think the writing was pretty bad. The writing here was not very good at all. So yes, the dialogue does felt terrible as a result. And not to try to convey emotion, conflict and whatnot through the writing, but the script writing is so poorly done. It didn't, they didn't really do what they wanted to do, really. So as a result, it just felt like just whatever. There's no suspense really. The villain characters or whatever didn't feel like three-dimensional. Matter of fact, none of these characters felt three-dimensional at all. So yeah, folks, I know this the love bug pretty much became like an icon or whatnot when it comes to Disney. I wanted to bring them character back in the early 2000s. So I guess I can see why they would do this. Okay, don't get me wrong, but again, just the way they handled it was just not a good thing. I mean, you think Lindsay Lohan should be enough to help the film? Really? You think that would be enough to help the movie? But no, it really didn't. No, yeah, let's just say the reviews for this were pretty mixed in a lot of ways. The reviews for this were very mixed and whatnot. But yeah, in a lot of ways, the story itself does feel underwhelming in a lot of ways. It feels really underwhelming in a lot of ways. So I did not like what they were trying to do. There's nothing especially imaginative about this movie at all because it just feels in a lot of ways very lackluster. Yes, this could have gone a bunch of different ways, but it's just nothing really unliked. Of course, when it comes to the story department, it felt very predictable. And as for the acting, all the acting, yes, including Lindsay Lohan, felt phoned in, I guess you can say. But I guess it's pretty fast paced, so there's that. Yes, it's very colorful in certain areas. And the special effects are decent, considering the fact, again, this came out during the early 2000s, I suppose. But all in all, just a very flawed film I couldn't really get into, really. Okay, not exactly the absolute worst thing I've seen, but still, when it comes to sequels, I mean, the company has produced far worse than this. But that doesn't excuse anything, folks, because it's still bad. It's still bad. Anyway, folks, so yeah, I don't really recommend this because I honestly didn't like it, really. Again, if you want to check it out yourself, be my guest, I suppose. But I didn't like it. I'll give this an overall rating of a 4.8 out of 10. It's a 4.8 out of 10 for me. And yes, of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah. Boy. Later.